November 1st, Tuesday. Yet, in spite of unfamiliar voices and unwanted touches from shadows lurking in the dark, rousing is a slow, arduous process. Difficult. I feel limp heavy with lead. No matter my aversion for the words they murmur in my ears or the sight of a horrid smile from afar, my body refuses to yield. I am at their mercy. Beyond fathomable reason, my consciousness refuses to pull off the waking world, choosing to linger in the pits of a dream, gradually drawing me deeper into unknown depths. Somehow, even if it might mean I may never open my eyes, I allow them.
You do not belong there, my prince.
Not that I mind getting a few extra hours, of course. The bed's small and comfortable as it is. I had an exhausting day yesterday. Babysitting Kylie, and the stress of finding an intruder in my own home. I think I deserve a little break, every once in a while. Especially after going through all that in a single day. I can only be on the receiving end of so many unacceptable things within the span of a few hours, you know? As gracious a host and person I am, my patience has its limits too. Although there's still a problem with Hannah. I haven't conquered that, of course, but that's why I hired Strogan. He's competent enough. He won't even last a day in my service if he's any lesser than those half-wits who think they can deceive me with sweet words. He's more than capable of working on his own without guidance. Let a butler take care of that little problem with Hannah, while I... Hannah...
You do not need her. I am here.
Oh no...
We are here. This is where your home is. Where you belong. For the blood we share. Come back to us.
How long has it been since? Johannes has never taken this long before.
Surely there should have been an update by now, right?
So why isn't there?
Please don't go.
Bloody hell, the cretins I've surrounded myself with.
And isn't it enough reason to force myself out of bed? As it has always been the case. My eyes fly open. It's like the warm rays of sunshine filtering through the curtains. Only be greeted by a blinding flash of light and a loud boom of thunder, and sound nearly too close to my ears. Strong gusts of wind will occasionally burst in from the open balcony door, bringing a drizzle of cold rain into the room. I must have left it open early before dozing off. The cupboard in the floor closet to it is already drenched. And it's going to be so cross when she sees this. Well, it's an immediate problem. If anything, it is this power outage we should be minding first. If the intruder is still at large, steering through this darkness might be far more fatal than multiple stab wounds or a gunshot to the chest.
Oh, great. The power's still out. That is exactly what I need right now. Yes.
It's this storm, of course. I should have moved back to the penthouse to weather it in a much more comfortable setting. Already, I can hear the creak and crunch of this old place as rain beats against the windows.
Johans, has someone been sent to check the circuit breaker yet?
No answer.
Johans?
Silence.
Stroken! Someone! Anyone?
Still nothing, and my cordial mood is quickly dissipating.
Where are those idiots when you need them?
It's really a wonder why he hasn't fixed this yet. Was it really out of that long? Can be. It has only been a few hours of a midnight, if the time on my wristwatch is anything to go by. Unless I forgot to change it again after that last overseas trip a month ago. Though the delay is understandable, if he went looking for Hannah as he promised. But bloody hell, my state is also at stake here. Cursing, I stay still, and my eyes try to adjust to the darkness and my hands fumble for my slippers. If that butler isn't going to fix this, I may as well order security posts outside to do it. It's not with just a blown fuse. Anyone with a brain can repair one. Grabbing my jacket and footwear finally on, I make for the door. Although in haste, I pause briefly when a gleam catches my eye. One of my trousers near the clutter I've yet to organize. The muzzle of a gun peeks out. Hannah has never openly commented my possession of it, but I know she does not approve of it, knowing the bloody firearms policy in this nation. Of course, I've not found much use of it in the 7 years we've been together. Otherwise, she would have already had it thrown out years ago. Does it mean it won't be useful right now? Without second thought, I seize it, send the stuff right above it onto the floor. Whatever. I'll get to it later. This backup problem should be resolved first. Right next to my missing security detail, as it turns out.
Where the fuck did everyone go?
I think she took everyone. There were two, weren't there? Sure can have two blokes posted to stand guard for the night. I might be panicking for a bit earlier, but I'm quite sure I haven't gone delusional yet. What? Did both of them decide to take a break? Because they think the master already sound asleep and won't be looking for them?
Damn nitwits.
I know assassinations happen very rarely these days, even less in a peaceful city like Luxbourne. But bollocks! There's been a woman going in and out of this place uninvited, who may or may not want to put a knife in my back. Isn't that enough reason to stay on alert? I'm very certain Strogan won't just enlist their help just for his power outage, only to leave me unprotected. We have a difficult friendship, so to speak, but I doubt that man is an opportunist. I'm owing to the lives of his family in my hands, after all. He knows what I'm capable of doing. He's not stupid enough to do anything that'll endanger them and save only himself. So, where then? Only my footsteps echo along dark passages, and I am left gripping the handle of my pistol for some sort of comfort. Without proper lightning and with this storm still raging outside, the stories I've heard about this place seem to have some truth to it. Some. If I'm reaching and wish to uncertain myself for a bit, I'll say there might also be ghosts whispering my ears, calling. Of course, it's just the wind and the trees rustling outside. Nothing good will come of allowing those thoughts to linger from when problems are piling up in front of me one after another. Especially if it greets me once I get the foyer. Though it's dark, the large windows illuminate our area much more easily than any of the other rooms. And from where I stand on the top of the stairs, I can easily make out their forms, recognize them even. It's all gone crazy when these intruders come into my house. I'm no stranger to cop playing dirty. The smart ones knew that neither life nor criminals are going to play fair. And if one of these walk sword is on it is, I'm not surprised to. But Lily, the estate agent, doesn't seem the sort. And Daisy too. What will Kyrie think of her Miss Pink if the poor Tyke finds out about this? Not to mention Min. Hannah trusted her. I trusted her to be a professional, at the very least. For fuck's sakes. To top it all off, they all have the nerve to look surprised when I announce my presence.
Well, what have we here? If I were any less sober, I'd say this is the beginning of a joke.
Bloody trespassers. What is wrong with these people? Did they really think I'll be fine with them walking into my home like this? What are they even doing in here? If I didn't know any better, my nose would be behind Hannah's disappearance.
That's right, my love.
No, that's not right, my love. He must have a motive.
Make them pay.
And it better be a good one.
For all the wrong they've done to us.
Or a bullet to the head is the least all of them will deserve.
Let's see. A photographer, a high school teacher, a real estate agent, an interior designer walk into a mansion.
Down the crackers once again, calling me off. This time it sounds hits close enough it nearly feels that the windows and the ground itself are rumbling. All is that is still for a moment. I don't let it stop me, however, and I slowly make my way towards them, taking one careful step at a time, relishing the expression of fear in their eyes. I suppose there's something ominous in this setting, with heavy rain outside and a lack of light here. I kinda like it, to be honest. Adds something to the atmosphere. I suppose I must look like a villain now. But short of me getting close to them, a noise to my left distracts me, briefly holding my movements while curiosity takes over every murmur in my head. And it's a good thing, perhaps, that I did, because as soon as I look up, I see him. Another trespasser. Great. Because he's about to jump down from furniture that he has somehow ended up piled and blocking the door to the parlour. What happened there? Did he really think it's alright to do that in other people's house? I did not block it, mate. Loads!
Teach him, my lord. Put him in his place.
My hand's already moving before any rational can stop me. Fingers firm at my gun when I finally release the safety from it and take aim. Not at him, but his friends. They are his, aren't they? Why else would they be here together? Doesn't matter. He won't let the people he cares about be harmed. My fingers on the triggers, more than itching to shoot, but I hold back. Sure, I could have simply taken aim at him, but more than seeing him bleed, I want to see the expression on his face once he realizes everything he's doing is futile. He's trapped. Lives are in my hand. His life's in my hand.
Had I known there would be a party in my own home tonight, I would have opened a bloody bottle or two. People these days, in my own home. Can you believe it? I feel so left out.
I can tell the exact moment the realization dawns on him. A short second of his body freezing and blood draining from his face. As soon as his feet hits the floor and he looks up. He's already a prey, trapped by his own recklessness.
How pathetic.
And really, Daisy, even you, what would Kylie say?
Luke, this isn't what you're thinking. You have to listen to us. There's something going on here.
Well, obviously, why else would people be trespassing in my home? What about little Lily over there, then? What's your excuse? Checking back if your clients are doing okay? Is that it? Is this what this is? Oh, we're doing good, by the way.
Sir, please.
Oh, please what?
Becca's right, sir. We need to get out of this place. You need to leave.
Tut, not a good enough excuse, darling. You people are the ones who need to get out of my sight. Don't worry, I might consider pressing lighter charges for the woman. Can't say the same for the rest of you. But really now, I swear the people of this city need to be taught the meaning of privacy. This is how you want to start the week. Why don't we just go with a bloody massacre if we want to surprise people in their homes, huh?
It's just a passing remark, of course. I'm not stupid enough to do something that'll bring negative attention to myself. Reputation and all that. I can't just risk it. The thought of having dead bodies here, one that I'm not even responsible for. They're the ones who trespassed. It's really quite too much. It'll literally be overkill, especially for someone like me. Nevertheless, joke or not, Feathers wasn't no time drawing his own gun at a slight wave of my own. Even if he knows it's already too late. Still he glares at me. Still he fights back.
Now, Feathers. Manners. You're in no position to be pointing that gun at people.
There's no desperation in him like I'm hoping. Just annoyance flickering shortly before being hidden underneath a challenge. The likes of him are the kind of people I hate the most. Even with their failures already glaring down at them, mocking every wordless move they make. They have the impudence to stare people in the eye.
Why don't you put yours down first, and then we'll talk about manners.
Oh, he talks back. The gall. You know, your kind pisses me off so much.
Annoying most of the time, like a damn pest you can be rid of. but to some degree it is commendable. I give him that. After all, we're almost the same in that regard. Almost. I'm still the better person, of course. He tells me to put the gun down, but I see no reason why I should. I'm a homeowner. In defense of my own home, I have the right to, I'd like to think. Questionable permit of firearms aside, it's not like I want this, but I'm already high strung and their presence does not help. Bloody peasants. I can never seem to figure how their minds fully work. Take this one for example. Despite the pride brimming in him, how he matches my glare with one of his own, he simply loads his pistol after a long second. Not in surrender. The tense set in his shoulders tells me as much, but the closest he can get to lowering his own ego, in vein of something I can't quite place. Interesting. Can't admit, I almost disappointed.
As you should be, my lord.
I've expected him to hold until one of us shoots the other. I can't say it'll be more exciting that way. A bullet inside any part of my body isn't something I'd like to have on a bad day like today, or any day for that matter. But it'll surely be predictable of him. And I like predictable. They're the kind of people who are the easiest to deal with, no matter the situation. With them, there's no second guessing what they'll do. He shoots, I shoot. One of us dies, the other walks away. Nothing complicated. Nothing requiring much brain power. Just muscle memory and who's the better shooter. End of story. Yet here he is, drawing a deep breath in and setting aside the only thing protecting him. I can easily shoot him this way, be done with this whole farce of a conversation. Instead, I find myself listening. A concession for a person who, in another life, will have also become the person I am today, had the circumstances allowed it. Damn shame. We might have gotten along.
Listen, right. I need you to.
But alas.
You broke into my house, and somehow you expect me to listen like a good little boy. Are you a bit touched in the head, Feathers? I'm not the one breaking laws here.
Look here, fucker. If I wanted you dead, I could have done it so many times already. In fact, I can easily shoot you down right here, right now. And you won't be able to do a damn thing, even with that gun.
A meeting of two prideful blokes will never go well, whichever lifetime it is. And I can only laugh at his audacity. His lack of shame and fear even face the business end of my pistol.
You know what I'm thinking right now? In another lifetime, we would have probably gotten along well.
The best truth I can offer him. Not many people, those who have slighted me in particularly, live this long to see it.
And you should be grateful. You're already gracious enough, allowing him to stand in your presence like this.
Yes, especially when he has a lot to answer. Preferably right now. Because as generous as I have been so far, my patience has its limits. My amusement can only last for so long. In 2 steps, I'm standing in front of him, grabbing by the collar and resting the gold muscle of the eagle against his temple.
Ashton! Luke, no!
Hey, now you two, I'm sure we can all talk about this first.
Oh, and shall the pretty smell of wall disclose?
Teach this loud a lesson.
What is it that you people really want with me? This is the second time this week, and I'm really getting weary of this little game. Did the NCA send you to apprehend me? Or has somebody paid you off to kill me? Which one is it, Feathers? Mind you, my arm's getting tired. Better answer quick if you don't want to beat the business end of this gun.
And he knows it. Of course he does. Hitman or not, he has been trained, judging purely from his stance. But not many brothers to be as cautious as him. One glimpse at my handgun safety earlier is all it took for him to see I mean business. Similar. Too similar. We're too alike in so many little ways, it's funny. Down the fact that he doesn't even flinch, no matter how hefty threats in my words are. Even knowing how one flick of my finger on the trigger will be enough to end his sorry life. You gave them by now, startled the king, like so many others before him. Instead, he throws more vitriol, adds more kindling to the fire already burning.
I'm not with NCA. I'm just here to help. There's something else in this house, and we're all in danger. You have to believe me, right? You need to let us go. You need to get out of here before it's too late. If you want to keep your sorry ass alive, you'll listen to people with more brain cells than you.
Igniting it further, and I can help but return it to him with equal fervor. We don't need... Oh. You don't hear the voice, and we don't need him, my love.
Why, you insolent!
We both decide to move in that moment, both our bodies dancing, each of us racing to get ahead of the other. However, before we can even get a head start, a voice unexpectedly rings above the chaos about to ensue.
Luke, help me. Please.
I've always been cautious and careful, cutting off trouble heads before things can escalate if I'm able. That's why I deal with the likes of Harvey, Suarez and Johans. For all who we are, for all the enemies the likes of us can make. Such a thing has never happened before, because I do everything to make sure it doesn't happen. So to see Hannah in danger, I don't quite know how to feel or what to do. Of all the times so dear to be a hostage situation, there's even one. Why now? Fucking God, what is going on here?
Help me. Please. Please make it stop.
I think that would be preferable if my sense of self-preservation was shot to high hell. It would deprive me of choice, of responsibility in the matter. And I don't want to think about how fast my heart beats, so that I hardly hear anything other than my own heartbeat and her bleeding.
Please. They're in my head. Screaming. It hurts so much.
What do I do? What can one do against someone holding your life in their hands? What if a woman that looks more monster than a man? When a woman's expression turns into one of amusement and the laughter fills the air, I want to call her out on it. There's a rage simmering just beneath my skin, but my own screams die down in my throat. All I made with the monster is a pathetic croak. She laughs if it's this all some sick joke. My breathing becomes a bit too shallow for my liking, and I feel like I'm on a precipice where one wrong move can lead to someone dying. This is crazy. All of it.
Help me, please. I can't.
And something in me snaps. There's a switch in my head that wants to go out one way or the other. I have to... What am I doing? Why am I even hesitating? I won't go so far to claim that I'm any sort of decent human being. But this is Hannah, my wife, I'm talking about here. What sort of husband, what sort of father would I be if I just stood by idly while she was in danger? That doesn't change the fact that this is all fucking insane, of course. Having all these intruders is crazy. To think about going at this thing is crazy. I can hardly classify as a person in my eyes. Perhaps a maggot that needs to be crushed under my shoe, just like the rest of this sorry lot. But a person? Hardly. But I care none of any of it. They don't matter. All that matters is that Hannah and my children are in danger. But cold pours over me, freezes me in places once more when I try to make amends. I have to take deep breaths, grip my teeth, and steel my fists to even find the courage to speak up.
Let go of her! Don't hurt her! Whatever it is you want, just don't you dare hurt her!
If my voice isn't as firm as I'd like, it doesn't matter. I will beg and plead if I have to. On my knees, bend my fucking proud neck, and maybe even break it, just to make sure she's safe. It's not her life alone that's in danger. All children's lives are on the line, even mine perhaps. Because I don't know what I would do if anything happened to Hannah. I would plead for the woman who will be the mother of my children. The cold stillness is gone from my body, my very skin feels like it's on fire. And I have to shout, scream at her when Hannah continues to cry out in pain.
What do you want? Money? Is that it? I'll give you however much you want.
Luke, please make it stop. I want it to stop.
Just stop whatever it is you're doing to her! Can't you see she's hurting?
I cannot stand for this.
Let go of her! Now!
I say it with such ridiculous conviction. And of course she won't listen. Why would she? She has the upper hand here. There's no reason for her to do as I ask. But her voice is a bit of whisper and deadly slow. And I'm hard-pressed to hear it over the parting of my heart in my ears. She speaks. The woman from the gardens and the servant girl from the ballroom. From hallucination, vision, memories, whatever they were. I hushed others over the room as we listened.
Do you really wish to be with her?
There are no second thoughts.
More than anything! So please, let her go!
Alive for life. Though her expression doesn't change, I have this most awful fear that it wasn't the answer she was looking for. I can see how the woman's fingers standing around Hannah's throat. Hear the hitch in her breath, and I feel that I've made a worse decision speaking out. I didn't think she will listen. Yet she does. A hand on Hannah's back sends her flying down the stairs. I move to catch her, and that sends us both sprawling out at the floor of the stairs. With my back to the ground and her on top of me, the pain doesn't even register in my head. All I can worry about is Hannah and the baby's well-being as I pull the both of us off the ground and away from the stairs. Away from her.
Are you alright, Hannah? Are you hurt?
It takes much too long for my liking before she speaks. All she's able to do for a moment is whimper in pain, a hand to her throat. And when she does manage to speak, her voice is far too faint along with the hold she has on my arm. It's terrifying to see her like this, and to think I nearly lost her.
We are fine, Luke. I'm sorry. Just give me a moment.
For a moment, we forget. But
You deserve each other.
just hearing her voice triggers something in Hannah, and she starts to tear up. Her face contorts into one of pain and fear. But I grab her by the shoulders to keep her in place so that she can see me and only me. So that I can only see her too.
Look at me, Hannah. Look, I'm here. You're safe. I won't let her hurt you again. Do you understand? Just breathe.
I don't know exactly what in bloody hell is going on. And I can't find it in me to care. Whoever these people are and whatever they are here for. These are not acceptable conditions for a pregnant woman. For all I know, this is all some dumb charade to get to me. All the times I have seen the woman before, it could have all been an act to get to me, to get under my skin. And to think they dare hurt Hannah. For all of the fear that I had felt seeing her touch Hannah, I can only think of her as an actress in grotesque makeup. My hand still shakes, the fear not having quite gone, but anger fills me as I look at a woman, a sneer on my face.
How dare you! I don't care who you are, but how dare you touch Hannah! I want you out of my house, out before I call the police and have you put away for the rest of your miserable life! And that goes for all of you!
I hold my ground, firm and strong of my declaration. The nerve of her. She just laughs in my face. A terrible, dreadful laugh that makes me feel as if there are ants crawling on my skin and maggots squirming in my ears.
You are telling me to get out of your house.
You threatened to lock me up.
She laughs and she laughs.
What's so funny? What are you laughing at? None of this is funny!
But she persists, and it almost feels like her voice is in my head.
Oh, no different. No different. You're all the same. You can all suffer together.
And that is when everything turns to complete and utter shite. It's a slow thing, a whisper, more than a bang as the darkness creeps into every corner of the room. The walls shudder and groan. Blood runs from the ceiling, crawls down the walls and stains the floor. It feels as if life itself is being sucked from the house, slowly but surely. The beauty of the place is gone, with only the dead, decaying remains of a mansion left in its wake. I don't have to wonder if it's just a foyer that's becoming this nightmarish place. I can already hear it. Gone are the crowing of thunder and the lashing of rain and wind against the foyer's high windows. All of it has been replaced by more grating sound. A cacophony of voices from nowhere, everywhere echoing throughout the now horrid walls. Voices that either belong to us or the people who live here.
What's going on?
All throughout the house, shouts of alarm and surprise ring out, a mirror to the horror creeping up in each of us. Who wouldn't be shocked? This is insane! Even Daisy, fierce woman that she is, trembles at the sight of it, clinging desperately to Lily, who, while steel and feathers stand protectively in front of her too. Brave of them, I have to admit, to put themselves in front of line like that. So it doesn't necessarily mean they don't feel the same fear as the rest of us. Something I don't blame them for. There seems to be no end in sight to this insanity. If anything, this only feels like it's the beginning of the end.
Help me! Oh my god! Please, somebody! Anybody! Who are you? Stay away! No. Stay away! Stay away!
The screams fill the mansion. She laughs all the while. A harsh, agonizing sound goes on for what feels like forever. Until there's something but silence. Oh no, her horrid smile and her pale hands reach out to me. Calling, beckoning, pleading. I'm terrified, I really am, like I should be. But I have never been one to truly stay afraid. I've long learned that fear will not get me anywhere. Cowering in a corner doesn't keep me safe, and it will not keep me alive. Not like a rage does. I've learned to use this burning hate inside of me to survive. There's no difference now.
Stay away from me!
Why do you wish to leave? This is where you belong, my lord. Remember the blood we share. This is your home. Don't you remember? You promised to return, to stay together with me, with us, with people no different from you.
What is she talking about, Luke? What does she mean?
Don't listen to her, she lies. I promised no such thing to anyone. Hannah, you're the one who bought this house. How should I know what she's babbling about? I never even wanted to be here in the first place.
A terrible case of mistaken identity. That must be it, I'm quite sure of it. I don't know this woman, this monster. Why would I say that to someone like her? My entire lifetime, I've only made and kept sincere promises to a mere two people. Hannah Evans and Eleanor Chandler. No one else. The rest of those who claim I've promised anything to them can go fuck themselves. Bloody hell, I may enjoy the company of women, but I'm not needed to start spouting such nonsense to anyone. A line must be drawn. That's where I am to keep myself alive. Yet she still goes on, insists make me appear alive in front of these people.
Of course you still deny it. Have you truly forgotten? You haven't changed, I see. Still a deceiver.
She's lying!
You see, my love, nothing has changed. Still no difference, you and I. Just like the rest of us. Just like every single soul in this putrid wreck. We've waited for so long. You can hear them, yes. Their pleas, their calls, their invitation. Come, my lord. The house seeks its master.
She, the monster, reaches out again. Her hands a gory, abhorrent sight, along with smiles spread across her face. My body is already moving on instinct, stumbling back one step at a time in a desperate bid to be away from her. Anything to put distance between me and this vile creature. No matter what she says, I'm nothing like her. I need to get out of this house, out of this country preferably. Take Hannah with me, because I only live out of this dreadful city, start a family. There's nothing for us here. Her parents are long gone, nothing to keep us tied at this place. Stroken has likely been taken by this woman, and it's not what binds him to this wretched city. I only need Hannah. We can leave, we can.
Careful, Luke.
My footsteps on something, sending me sliding on my back and fell on the floor. Beside me, a paper familiar one fell down. It's this thing again from the Whipping House. That feels less like a gimmick and more like a threat, but with recent events. It must have fallen from one of these peasants in the commotion earlier. For a moment they appear conflicted seat in my hands, but Riser keeps their opinions to themselves, leaving the damn thing to simply bear its grisly message for everyone in the room to see. Help me. Help me. Help me. This is it. What I've been telling us. Everything in my life has gone to shite because of some stupid old letter. An invitation indeed. One I am not willing to accept. Not any time. From the top of the stairs, the creature moves again, from my dungeon back to her. Her gait remains slow and awkward as she walks forward, that smile never leaving her. But I won't get her. I won't give her the chance. I am not dying here. I certainly am not giving myself to a hideous creature like her, either. Adrenaline kicks in, and despite panicking gasps of words glances from Daisy's friends, I pay them no mind as I reach for the main door and, without warning, it slams open, revealing not the mansion's grounds like I'm expecting. Before minds can even comprehend what's happening, black tendrils have already coiled tightly around my limbs, dragging every person in the foyer into the room. None of us even get to scream when darkness completely envelops us, open the doors closing. Oh no.
Understand where your place is now, my love.
I'm going to make a quick save. Jeez.
You belong here. Is it so difficult to grasp? We've been waiting.
There's a moment of panic when the feeling of tendrils around my limbs finally dissipates. As soon as my eyes adjust to the darkness of the room and I'm on my feet, I'm reaching for my knife and holding it out, watching, waiting for every movement, using it as a way to put distance between me and these peasants. Who knows what they'll do now? They're all desperate to get out of this house. There's only 7 of us in this room. 4 of them, friends at that. I cannot trust these people not to turn on me. Bloody hell, even Hannah's giving me the same look as them now. Tom Mint has already gone loon, crouched in the corner, muttering to herself. Could really say anyone's safe from her. If anything, she's the one I should watch out for. I cannot trust anyone. Not anymore. Not after this. Despite the bleeding looks like Lily shoots my way while they are huddled in a corner behind steel and feathers. But I have to remind myself that even people like her are capable of doing the unpleasant. She's only human after all. It's never an excuse. Why, even Hannah has her cunning, manipulative moments. But she does it much subtler than I. Why else would Lily show this letter to us that day if not to save herself? I guess that's backfired in her now that she and her own friends are also stuck here. Still, I have every right to be livid. Everything I've built has fallen apart. All because these people came into our lives.
You, all of you, this is all your fault. If I've died to this bloody case, I'm taking you all down with me.
Put that knife down, Lucille.
Hey now, Mr. Wright. I know the situation ain't good, but we have to calm down. We're all in the same boat here.
You shut your mouth. If it weren't for you, for this letter, for all of you, none of this would have happened.
And blaming everyone in this room isn't going to get us out of this place.
True.
Please put that knife down, darling. You might hurt yourself.
Are you taking their side?
Listen to your wife,
You're
Lou.
also stuck in this nightmare, Buttercup. What about the children? Aren't you the least bit worried about them? That creature is out to get us, and you're still defending these people.
I'm not defending anyone, Luke. I'm just trying to be reasonable when you're clearly not.
Oh, of course you're not. You're just the one who bought this bloody mansion to begin with. If I didn't know any better, you did this on purpose.
Why, no. Why would I ever do that? This was only meant to be an anniversary gift. For you. For us. For the family we're going to have.
Right, anniversary gift. Oh, here's your gift, darling. Oh, by the way, there's a curse included in that package. I hope that's all right. Are you really that eager to get rid of me, Hannah? Because if that's what you've been meaning to do all this time, you might as well just put a knife in my back while I'm...
Suddenly Hannah steps up and slaps a knife away from my hand. Said knife slides uselessly under the table, out of my reach. Before my mind registers what's happening, a sharp blow explodes in the side of my head, sending me reeling backwards. Yee! Soul fist! She merely stands before me afterwards, without even batting an eye, glaring at me as if she might just rip my head off in this instant. Sometimes I forget.
Don't you dare, Luke. Don't you dare imply I've ever thought of you that way.
Said Hannah's never the weak woman I believed her to be. How did I become to think of her as such? She used to be someone I can look up to, isn't she? When you look at her now, the way she stands tall, facing a man like me, the same as she has done all those years ago, I can't help but think. Am I not responsible for taking a part of herself away from her? Enjoy your time as Mrs. Luke Wright? What a bunch of shite. Realizing this, I can only look away when she reaches up and places her hand on my face. Gone is the anger in it, and only a soft smile remains while she looks at me with a shine in her eyes. The 7 years we've been together, I've only been nothing but a piece of shite to her. Yet here she is, still smiling at me the way she has done so many years ago. It's impossible not to feel like a complete and utter trash like this. She has an uncanny way of doing it to me, really. Especially when she takes my hand in hers and places it right on her tummy. Right where 2 tiny babies are still growing. Ours.
Love, look at me. We've already talked about this. If we are still going to do this, it has to be the 2 of us. I will stay with you, but things are going to have to change if we want this to work. We can't keep doubting each other like this.
Not until we find a way out of here.
I'm sure we can. Maybe they know something we don't.
You're going to rely on them for that? These peasants who brought this on us?
Keep talking about us like that and see if any of us here will keep you out of this place.
Rebecca, stop! All of you stop this!
To hear Lily speak out loud, I can't say I'm not surprised. She has always given me the impression of someone so meek from the moment I've met her, either from her inexperience or her station in life. She has never struck me as someone fitting to be a real estate agent. Until now. Quietly, she puts herself between me and Daisy, calling whatever sketching words we've got to hurl at the other. The way she glares at me, it reminds me a little of the way my own mom would look at me. Particularly when I've done something wrong. And it's not a stare she's unused to showing. She has done this before, probably to a younger sibling. If she only sees us now as a pair of squabbling kids, not too mature adults, well, that's only to be expected. No doubt that's how she sees us. For a long moment, there's only silence in the room. Silly, the big oaf doesn't even dare break it. Neither does Feathers. With both merely watching us, a bunch of wimps, these men. Not that it matters when Lily starts speaking again, after some of the anger tension slipped for the room.
Stop this, please! With or without that damn piece of paper,
A deep breath, an exhale, and then she closes her eyes, a crease forming between her eyebrows, while she grips her hand tightly in front of her.
We still would have ended up in this mess.
That atmosphere that descends into the room right after that admission is anything but pleasant. I might call it that, an admission. It seems like it from the way her eyes nervously flick between her friends and I. She appears to know more than she lets on, and how she makes herself appear smaller after dropping the bomb on us. Doesn't sit quite well with me. And patience is something I don't have the luxury of having right now and bestowing upon other people. What else does this girl know? What else is she not telling us? Because from the looks of this, even her friends has no idea what she's talking about. Unwilling to wait, I grab her arm before she retreats without explanation, aiming at the still in my hand in front of her.
Ow! Sir, you're hurting me!
Hey, hands off her, right?
Fuck off, Feathers. I have questions for your friend, and she better have the answers.
Luke, will you stop taking it out on every single person?
Your friend is hiding something, Daisy.
She struggles for a moment, but my hold eventually forces her to look up at me. Fear and uncertainty spreads across her features, especially when her eyes land on the damn paper. As much as I want to be considerate right now, I want answers.
What do you mean, Lily?
I'm not sure about it.
Don't give me that, you know something!
Ow! Please, sir. I know the paper is useless, okay?
The mention of the letter all of a sudden Min stands. I've almost forgotten she's here, her rambling having faded away in the shouting. Without warning, she sends the paper out of my hand. It's a miracle it didn't rip right down there. But the way she glares at it, I think she may want to do exactly that.
We should have gotten rid of this thing! We should have burned it at the first opportunity we got!
No, even if we rip it to shreds, it won't do anything. I think...
You don't know what I've seen, Santos. There were children! Victims! All because they had no idea what this thing will do to them! Oh God, those poor souls! They were screaming and begging before she...
Then what about those people they mentioned in the news lately? All those who died? My coworkers? The open house clients? None of them had seen it. Even Rose. And yet they're all dead. I should know. That letter has been with me since I picked it up. And I swear I didn't make copies of this thing. Even if I wanted to save myself, I wouldn't do that to my friends. Or anyone.
Is that what the trip to BRC was for?
Yes, I'm sorry. I couldn't tell you guys until I was certain. None of you believed me the first time. I had to find proof.
And yet we're all here! Are you taking me for a fool, Lily?
I have to go with whiskey on this. Who knows how many has already seen this before you found it? This cursed thing has to go!
We would have ended up here either way. Maybe? I really don't know. Sir, please. All I know is that paper isn't the reason why all of this is happening. There's something else that...
This place.
Celia has been quiet this entire time. The sound of him talking, however whispered it is, still manages to catch us all off guard. We all pause, staring to him with, likely, the same questions in our eyes.
What?
I just remembered something a friend told me. You know, stuff about ghosts or curses. You probably don't want to hear it.
No, it might be something. What about this place, Zach?
There's still a moment where he hesitates, but Lily's urging eventually spurs him into speaking.
Remember what I told you the last time you and Ash visited? A few days ago?
You mean what Andrew told you? Those were just stories, Zach. It might not even help.
Regardless, Celia pauses while he allows Lily to remember. Soon enough, whatever it is, it dawns on her, and her face lights up with something like... hope? Of all things, in this nightmare, hope. Her head snaps up and she reaches for Stevie's arms to give it a squeeze. A reassurance or a confirmation? The meaning is lost even to Daisy, who glances at them, baffled.
Belle, what are you... Becca, it's this place.
What? You mean, like, burn this place down?
I still think we should get rid of this letter before we start thinking of destroying a place with some historical value.
What? No? We are not burning a multi-million-pound mansion, you peasants! I just spent a fortune on this!
Better fortune in your life.
Seriously, Luke, are you really more worried about that?
Buttercup, Mansion, millions! It's gonna take years getting all that money back!
Well, you certainly won't be getting any of that money if you're dead. Really, Luke? Is that more important than your life?
Bloody fucking hell! Not only do I have trespassers on my property, but they're also arsonists!
It's not
Sorry.
only that. Think about it.
Then they proceed to tell some ridiculous narrative about the supernatural. Stories about ghosts, legends, curses born out of great anger and pain, and whatever else people use to scare children. Not that I believe any of it, as if knowing it will help. Bunch of loons, these people. Official of the ruckus! To think I'll be stuck in this nightmare with people like them. What did I ever do to the world? Of course it's not absurd until...
I think it's just like what the professor guy said. Just like that old story. This mansion and some other thing might be keeping her here. You know, something he wanted in life but never got to have. Something like that.
Or maybe it's not something, Zachary.
Someone. So who doesn't have to be uttered out loud? There's only one person in this room who that woman calls after. Every single one of them has heard it. Bloody hell, it's the reluctant shift in Daisy's eyes when they flicker over to me, though only briefly. She's also holding information on her own, or perhaps a realization she just had. Doesn't matter. I know when people have slowly started to turn on me. How do you think I lost in this cutthroat world? Trade them before they do the same thing to you. But a knife in their back before they can act. Kill or be killed. Survival in a nutshell. What now? Are they going to throw me at the creature? See what happens to save themselves? I am no fool.
No. You're all in on this, aren't you?
Are you people implying that my husband, that we should just...
Of course! Of fucking course!
Luke, that isn't what I...
Are you all going to stoop that low?
It's nothing like that, Ash. All we're saying is that maybe he might be able to do something about this.
Drop it, you guys. We're not leaving anyone here.
Just like that, their bickering began anew. Bloody peasants! My head's already aching just listening to them. To think this is all the solution they can come up with. I should have just tackled all of them and made a run for it. Doesn't help that each second we spent talking here, the craziest whole place gets. The voices have become louder and somehow sounding more vicious. If the things in this room start floating, mark my words, I'll fucking flip out. And they may not be thinking of it right now, but eventually they'll turn on me. That's the nature of humans. Better find a way out of this place as soon as possible if I want to stay alive. Fuck, I still have so much to do. None of our choices seem sound, but who knows? You don't understand a shite about this place, but as well try a thing, yeah? Whatever works. If I also have to be the one to make that blood decision, so be it. Less room for Alice if the only sane one doing the thinking. One to the off chance I'm wrong, well, they suggested it. I decide to make a save, please. Make a save. Burn the mansion! I'm going to regret this, I will. But with these cries going louder, this has become the easiest decision I've ever made. I'm getting tired of hearing sobbing, really. It's just irritating. Is she getting tired of it? Besides, someone has to act fast. Think fast, and what else is the root cause of our problems but this place will alas be found. No need to make things more complicated. It started here. Why won't it end here? If what Lily has said is true, then there's all the more reason to destroy it. But an end to this madness before someone thinks of putting this blasted place up in the market. When I get out of this place, I swear I'm suing a bunch of people. Running a state company to the ground if needed be. We spent millions, damn it. Millions! With a sigh and perhaps a heavy heart, I opened one of the drawers in my study table. Taking a bottle of liquor out of myself. The bottle looked onto every occupant in the room. They accepted, but not without a look of protest or a confused glance my way. And thus shut them all up. So maybe I've done something good.
Luke, this isn't the time.
Even more when I popped the cork of the bottle and poured its contents on the floor.
Well, what are you simpletons waiting for?
We wasted some time dousing the whole room. Some alcohol filling the air. If I didn't know any better, I'd say they're more eager to set this whole place on fire. And the blaze catches easy in this room and I set it all right, alight. Use the blasted paper as kindling. If the whole place drenched with mine and all manner of things alcoholic I've been hiding from Hannah, the small fire soon does into an inferno. In a matter of seconds, we're out the door. It doesn't exactly lead where I'm hoping it will. Although ending up in the kitchen does give us more reason to play like a bunch of pyromaniacs. Fishing the liquor stocks from the cupboards, as we also do the same thing we've done to the study. Door after door and every room we pass, pouring bottle after bottle of expensive aged liquor, setting everything on fire, only even once the blaze has started in earnest. When we run out of liquor, we simply out the bottle and take one from many nooks I've stashed one. And there's no lack of it in here. The hard stuff, the short, the watered down kind. Gifts from a distant relative, friends, so-called friends, you name it. I've made sure there's always one within reach. You sure a drinking
How
problem,
many
Luke?
of these things do you keep in this house?
A lot.
I always have a few bottles in the bedroom, the parlor, and the dining room.
You have problems, man.
Well, isn't this the time to discuss them?
Turns out it'll be useful now. Not to drown out my sorrows, but for this wonder of wonders that I suppose I can now say it's also saved my life. But there's no time for some introspection now, because with each room we pass and burn, the place has become easier to navigate. As if it's slowly righting itself, returning to what it's supposed to be. Soon we finally find ourselves standing before the main door. The strong odor of burning wood, cloth and varnish alike wafts from under the doors of the rooms we've previously torched, slowly filling the hall with a thick black smoke. The blaze has also started in earnest in every part of the house. I can already feel the heat speeding from the room I've set aflame. In a matter of minutes, flames will engulf the whole house. Fiddling, that is when she appears again before us, watching us from the top of the stairs. The whole world goes up in flames around her. However, what catches my eye is the expression on her face. Not the vile smile I've already grown accustomed to, and the one where her eyes gleam with complete hatred. This one, forlorn, is the only word I can think of to describe it.
No, please. Help me. Help me, please.
Can the dead still feel? Can she hear us? Or is it merely another one of her tricks to trap us in this nightmare? Like this, however, she seems almost like the woman she used to be, and I don't waste any time pondering over it. Not with the exit just a few steps away. The door's finally open and through it I can glimpse a word outside. Safety. However, I do turn, if only to see the last of her. A farewell more than anything. For all her attempts to lure me, draw me in, and wish to be with me, she does not stop me when I finally run from this horrid place. Quietly she disappears. Watching a multi-million-pound house burn before me. For some reason, nothing about this bothers me. Maybe it's that one last look on her face that has changed it. Maybe it's what I've seen and heard inside. There's only a calm, a stillness. The same hush that comes after a terrible storm has swept the countryside. And with it, the sight of the sun rising above the horizon. Ever so slow, the sky begins to lighten before my eyes. Darkness giving away to the warm morning hues. Soft rays spilling over the vast expanse of Luxbourne's countryside. Nearby the trees sway and rustle with the breeze. A passing drop that carries even into this room from outside. Cold enough to make me shiver. The remains of a storm that has passed. In the distance I can hear the soft chirping of birds, while the rest of the world still wakes. Dawn at last. We are free. Is it the end? That's it. It's the end. We finished it! Finally! Alright, let's see what the choices have brought us then. Epilogue. Like the flames that engulfed the mansion at night, whispers quickly spread across Luxbourne City after the incident. Officers who investigated it have simply deemed it an unfortunate accident. Regardless of the truth, Luke Wright files criminal charges against Prior Reality Corporation after, for undisclosed reasons to the public, forcing the latter to declare bankruptcy. A move that has merely stoked the rumors further. But for those who still believe in the stories of the old and those who know the truth, it is but a testament to the curse and the secrets that the Ermengarde Mansion has hidden for centuries. If there will come a time those will finally be revealed, only the edge of the now ruined mansion know. However, on nights when the wind howls and thunder booms across the sky, some still claim hearing of voices where it once stood, of cries and wails that fill the night and desperate calls of help for anyone who dares listen. As for those who once strayed its halls, there's pride and joy. Despite their problems, Luke and Hannah Wright managed to salvage their 7 years marriage. Now without its fair share of challenges, of course, especially for Luke. Oh, they have a boy and a girl. But for the sake of the children, he tries. Though the man still fears fatherhood, afraid of becoming like his father was to him. However, with a little help from Hannah, he eventually comes around, especially when the twins are born. He's still far from being a good father. He thinks he will never be. There are parts of him that will always remain unpleasant and will exasperate Hannah to no end. But even someone like him sees the joy in this, in having a family. For the first time in a long while, he admits he's content. They're happy. Months after her recovery, Marianne McCulloch heads back to her homeland, ready to close a chapter of her past she has left hanging for so long. There she visits Lorraine's grave, asking forgiveness from the girl she once loved, something she has intentionally avoided for years. Although the terror of what she has witnessed inside the Ermengarde Mansion still clings to her, she bravely chooses to move on from it, turning a new leaf by focusing on a new branch of her interior design company, and leaving her interior design company at Luxbourne in the hands of her secretary instead. Although she never returns to the city after, she is frequently seen visiting to check on the people has become acquainted with in her years there. Having finally accepted herself, she won't deny she's in a happier place now. Despite making the island branch of her interior design company her focus now, Marianne continues to cater to her most avid patrons in Luxbourne when requested. And after her work on the Ermengarde Mansion, the right couple, particularly Hannah, have never trusted another to handle the design for any of the place they own. Upon moving to their new place after giving birth to hers and Luke's children, Marianne's name is the first thing she calls, while the woman is quick to fly back to the city at a socialite summons. Not only helping with the decoration of the new place, but also assisting with the renovations, much to Hannah's delight. Since then, the two women have kept a close friendship. Often they can be seen going around town together when Marianne's in town, and Hannah can be heard recommending the designer to her peers during parties. In the city often keeping an ear out for any gossip, one can't deny that both women have found a confidant into the other. With help from family and friends, Zachary Steele is soon able to open a photography studio of his own, something he has only dreamed of having as a child. Although he still hopes to get back to making indie films someday, client work and small projects has kept him mostly busy. Hectic as it may be, he can only be glad for the amount of work pouring in. It has made moving on from the incident in the Ermengarde Mansion easier, if not faster. But while there are still nightmares, the support from his family, his doctor, and his own drive, the dark images have finally turned into pleasant dreams. He's aware he won't ever truly forget, but he's no longer running away. At times when he's not busy or after a hard day's work, he thinks there's another story for the big screen to be told in that. An idea he may soon turn to reality once his time affords it. In the months that follow, Rebecca Gales becomes a prominent researcher within Luxbourne's major academic circles, especially writing what she has discovered about Anderson Village and the Ermengarde Mansion. With help from Professor Andrew Clark, she is soon able to secure funding to continue her research, presenting her findings yearly at local and international symposiums. Now at the tail end of her current study, she hopes to publish her first book, correcting all inaccuracies in the city's current history. A move supported by both colleagues, students, and friends alike. Though she knows she still has a long way to go before she can even begin to change people's minds about it. Professor Clark has warned her as much. She preserves. Doing it not for herself, but for the sake of her history the future generation must never forget. No matter how disturbing her experience of the curse may have been, she remains so very what she has always been. Even after what she has seen, she continues to fight over people she cares about, sometimes much to their frustration or embarrassment. But if there's one thing that has shifted, it's her relationship with the people in that little group, particularly with Zachary Steely. In fact, on numerous occasions, she has been spotted dropping by his new studio, bringing the man food on days when he's swamped with work. They also seem to have grown more comfortable around each other than before. Is that love in the air, maybe? Maybe it's born out of their shared experience? Or maybe the way they see each other has simply changed naturally due to the years they've known each other. Regardless of the whys, it's a change the man welcomes and appreciates, and Tony strives to return her kind gestures whenever he can. For all the horrors they've seen, let have thought something good would come of it. Things have inevitably become strained between Ash and Frame Rebecca Gales in the months following her confession. And with their lives getting busier, the two have eventually drifted apart. Aw, but they were on good terms though. Although neither talks about it and the teacher still strives to forget an old love, it's clear that in Rebecca there are still feelings left she couldn't let go of. If anything, however, it's only made it obvious how much has changed between them, and how much she has clung to the idea of Ashton from their younger days, the one that may not have been there in the first place. Merely an idea for a starry-eyed young girl. But if there will be a time she will be able to accept this, to move on from the hurt and repair an old friendship that has fallen to ruin, only she knows. Amidst her struggles, Rebecca finds an unlikely companion in Luke Wright. While being a father has kept him busy nowadays, he still manages to make time for his goddaughter, Kylie Solaris. The man still won't admit it when he asked. Rebecca still regards men as insufferable. She doubts it ever change. But after all she has seen, much she denies it, she now considers his presence the closest thing she has to comfort. A similar sentiment to a businessman seems to hold. Even can't find a woman of his own problems and fears. Things he couldn't voice out to his wife. Their friendship may be awkward at best, but with the grim reality of death having once shadowed over the two of them, it's something they eventually grow fond of in time. With her newfound courage, Isabella Santos finally chooses to pursue what she really wants for herself. Having made enough to keep her family afloat for a few years, with their blessing she quits her job at Private Reality Corporation and takes a scholarship offer from the local university. So remarkably out of practice and unsure if she'll be able to keep up by the time she returns to university, she finds her feet soon enough with help from people close to her. And with confidence in her skills growing, so do the numbers of people recognizing her and her work. It doesn't take long for several award-giving bodies to take notice of her. Wow! For all her accomplishments, however, she has never truly forgotten what happened at the Ermengarde Mansion. The images still remain in her, and on particularly unpleasant nights, terrors continue to visit her dreams. She knows those won't ever disappear from her life. It has become a part of her in the same way death has permanently taken from her. However, she's no longer afraid, and with a brave face she carries on, earnestly wishing that someday she'll be able to paint brighter, more vivid thoughts on the canvas. An honest portrayal of life and hope amidst the fear. Shortly after accepting a scholarship grant from Luxbourne University, Isabella moves from Salem Wells residence in favor of staying in a dorm close to her campus. Although Rebecca Gale's quick to offer assistance for the move, she does admit she will be missing her neighbor of more than 5 years. When all is said and done, she has become fonder of the girl over the years, and with their shared experience over the years, they have only grown closer. Isabella leaves with a promise to visit every once in a while, and even though she still jokingly complains about Rebecca's bossy attitude, she confesses that she also misses the woman's fussing. After all, in a place miles away from her real family, Rebecca is still the closest thing she has to her sister. More than a year later, once everything in their respective lives was settled, Sir Christine and Isabel Santos finally hold their first exhibit together. A project that has been in the making for almost 2 years, and a photographer casually brought it up to allowed artists. While merely intended a small event, it has been surprisingly attended by several members of Luxbourne's upper class and art enthusiasts. Although only a few of the pieces have been meant for sale, the show has brought prominence to Zachary and Isabel's names in the city's art scene. It has since been followed by several other exhibits by the two, both in and out of the city. Currently, they are planning to hold their first show overseas. Yet, even with this unexpected overwhelming fame, friendship between the two has remained strong. Theirs, after all, is a bond that goes beyond being mere partners in a small project. He's her family, as much as she is his. While she's aware she still has plenty of ways to go, getting back to school has also opened a lot of opportunities for Isabella. At times, part-time work has started to come in droves as she is able to support herself financially through her art alone. Sometimes she has only dreamed of her child. And when clients are generous enough, she's able to send money back home as well, despite her family's reassurance. One such client is Mary Ermengarde, interior design company, who frequently commissions her for murals after the woman has learned of her skill. Though at times she finds it difficult to keep up with the interior designer's standard for quality, it's a job and a challenge she's only too happy to accept if it means doing what she loves. Following success in bringing several major cases to close, Ashley Frey receives a recommendation for transfer to Luxbourne's lead agency against organized crimes. An endorsement eagerly backed by the newly appointed successor to the late Chief Inspector Lee, Abigail Harris. Knowing he'll have more resources, leeway, and a bigger chance of ultimately bringing Luke Wright to justice, Ashton Frey accepts. He still warns the people close to him against Wright and his associates, but only a friendly reminder now, more than anything. Though he does worry, he believes they are wise enough to know what they are doing and trust their judgment. For now, he has decided to leave the evidence and the law to speak for itself and take care of the men once the proper time comes. Nowadays, police work and operations keep him busy, sometimes taking him away from the city he grew up in for days on end. A rare thing for him to enjoy once upon a time, yet this time he never loses his drive. Simply going more to the mind after having finally found a clear purpose close to the rush and excitement he dreamed of as a child. Although Ashton still keeps mum about specific details of his work, his experience with the curse has slowly taught him how to open up. Especially to those who he knows that generally care for him. He still has a long way to go, he knows that. But for the sake of the people who are still with him, those who have chosen to stay, he hopes that there will come a day when he no longer has to hide behind his own lies. A day when he is no longer afraid of facing the truth in his own words. On his day off, Ashton is usually seen loitering around Zachary City's studio, either to help him out on one of his pet projects or exasperating the other man on purpose. Either or, it's mostly the latter. At certain times, he'll volunteer to model for one of Zachary's projects, in spite of the photographer's reassurance that it's not needed. Regardless, Ashton insists before complaining how meticulously the whole process is hours later, to Zach's utter amusement. Though sometimes they may get into small trivial arguments, things have stayed cordial between the two. If anything, the ordeal they've both gone through has merely strengthened their friendship the detective didn't expect to find in anyone. Hot song! After a bit of fumbling, of a few missteps here and there, and moments of briefly allowing their uncertainties to hang over them, Ashton Frey and Isabella Santos finally finds the rhythm. There isn't a soaring love story by any means, nor is it a happily ever after, often told in the picture books a girl has only ever dreamed of having in childhood. Far from it, in fact. Despite what people glimpse their eyes or glean in their gestures, they both know better than to cling to ideals. A stranger will say they're in love, hopelessly, genuinely, and there's certainly truth in it. One only has to look. However, what you never see is this. Beyond the soft smiles, fleeting glances, and gentle touches only meant for the other is a grief. A terror that never seems to lift. A constantly filling their nights with echoes of an unforgiving wail and unwelcome dreams that stirs idle awake in darkest hours of dawn. It has never truly left them, and it never will. In the same way the light scar on Ashton's hand will never fully heal, or the horrid images in Isabel's mind will never fade. But they cope, in hushed whispers and tender reassurances, with light kisses and long embraces. When that no longer suffices, and the horrors become too much for them to bear, they have each other, and warmth to hold on to in the coldest of nights. And for them, it's more than enough. We finished it! I'm happy with the ending we got. What do you think of it? Do you like the ending we got, actually? Oh, everyone seems happy, so I'm quite happy with this. I'm going to replay it again and have let a couple of them die to unlock all the images and get a story behind this little lady. Aww. But you like the music a lot. The song McCulloch was singing.
It was a simple
Is it?
Teal? Where are you, Teal?
It's not over?
Teal? Please? She's here!
No.
She's still here, Teal!
Ah, she's still there. Darn it!
Help me! Please!
No, Kylie! What the? How can I avoid that at all? Dear you, if you're reading this, that means you finished playing the game in one way or another. And we thank you for the time you spent in playing the letter. This game is our passion project more than anything, and we sincerely hope we deliver in bringing you a one-of-a-kind visual novel experience. But it's the first of many visual novels coming from us. If you like what we did with this game and would like to support us, please take some time to click on the button below to find out how. Thank you so much for everything. Let's talk soon. Love, YYM team. Dear Kylie, I'm too overwhelmed to think about it now. I'm going to find out how I can prevent it from happening, and will let that know to you soon enough. See you next time.